So I'm gonna go over today's trade. Where is the damn replay button? All right, cool. So I'm going over today's trade on NQ. So what we have here. So on NQ, we knew that off the morning it pushed up, right? We had a structure shift on the 15 minutes to the upside. For me, this is all within the range off of previous Friday's high and low. So I knew we were stuck in a range. So I wanted a larger time frame break above that high to confirm bullish to keep going to the upside, right? As we can see, the 4 hour did close below that high. The hour did close above it though. So obviously there was indication of bullishness here. So for me, I don't like playing longs at the highs. I prefer waiting for a retest, right? Or waiting for a shift to play the downside. So how can we trade the upside here? So the way we could have traded the upside was off the 15-minute break, right? Because like I said, we shifted to the upside right here above this high. We broke above it, so it went bullish. So any retest into here will be, continuation to the upside. And as we can see, it did tap the premium fibs that we have here. And what I wanted it to do is hold the 5-minute low, which was this one here. And it did just that, right? All within the same 5 minutes. Tap the premium, held the 5-minute, and your target would be the high that pushed you down. So TP1 here, and then you move up, stops, break even. So that's how you play the upside. Now, how did we play the downside, right? So that's the 4-step strategy there as well. Let me show you the 4-step strategy on the downside move. So like I said, I knew we were bullish, so I still mark my highs and my lows. So my low, my last down move that created that bullish structure shift was this one here. So what did I need to see? I needed to see a 15-minute shift below this low here, right, to continue downside. And actually, we'll put this right here too, so show you. So we needed that to break below, and if we press play, it held it here, right, the first time, and then we had the confirmation. And these are points right here where you can get a lot of FOMO. You might think, oh, we're gonna keep going lower, there's no retest on the smaller time frame, and you might be like, oh man, let's just keep heading lower and lower and lower, right? So what I like to do is wait for the break on 15. We knew we had a gap, so what did it do? It came and filled the gap. So my 4 steps is step 1, look for a break, which we have here with this candle. Step 2 is identifying an order block or an imbalance, which we do have on the 5-minute here, and this is all your imbalance. Step 3 is draw my fibs, and then step 4 is wait for the retest. So I draw my fibs now from my high to my low, and I like to wait for a retest into the 50% to have a trade there, right? Now, I knew we had this imbalance here. Like I said, this was my imbalance here. We knew we had to tap into here. So a lot of piece of confidence I have here, right? Like I said, confirmation of the break. We have the daily open, weekly open, right? We have an imbalance here. 3, we have our fibs, and then 4, just wait for a retest. And the same thing I wanted it to do was with ES. I wanted to see a 15-minute break below the low and then retest. So let's see if it all lines up together. This is how I watch NQ and ES. So we did have to break on the 15, as you can see. So what's my 4 steps? Step 1, the break. Step 2, order block or fair value gap, which we have here, right? And step 3 is look for fibs. So back to the 15 from my swing high to my swing low, and that's my 50%. I have not moved it, so you guys can see that was my 50%. So let me remove it. So if I know the 50% for ES is here, and I know there's an imbalance here, and I know this is a daily open, and now I know this is a 5-minute high that caused to break below the low here, right, the lower low here, then I know we shouldn't shift above this high here. And if you guys want to get very technical, we can go on the 1 minute, and we have a 1-minute order block here, and we have this high here. So let's just plug everything together off the 15-minute time frame. Boom. So this played, tapped the 50%, and let's look at NQ. NQ tapped the daily open, and there you go, rejection. And then off the 1 minute, what's your 1-minute order block? Same here, right? And retested the 5-minute structure, retested the 15-minute on ES, and we just target the lows, and that was it, right? Simple setup. You line everything up together to catch those setups. And as you can see, we never closed above the highs. That was your second retest here, right? Because it never broke above the high here that you had, right? And what did that give you? Opportunities to just catch the down move on any retest given, right? Because it's a downtrend move. You want to create lower highs, lower lows, and same 4-step strategies. I'll show you again right here. So let's say, okay, you missed this setup. What did it form? Step one, right? You look for the break, you look for the order block, the fibs. So we knew we were on a downtrend. We knew this is our high here. So the fibs from the high to the low, and we wait for a retest again into the 50% optimal or premium and 50% and came down lower, right? And my target was at 28.02. Now, why was that my target? Because that was the next draw of liquidity here, the sell side liquidity on the 15-minute, the double bottom here, and then what happened? It held that low, right, and had a nice little bounce, as you can see. So you always have to know where your stop loss is and where your take profit is, right? So let's clean up the chart a little bit to show you where all that it is. So your retest was here, and your stop loss was a 5-minute close above the high, because if it closed above the 5-minute time frame here, it told you, hey, the structure wants to go back bullish, right? We never close below it, and your take profit is at 20.082 to catch that sell side liquidity down here, right? Very, very simple. Here's another setup, 15-minute. Let's see if it respected the fibs. High to low. So step one, the break, right? Broke below the lows. Step two, order block, fair value gap. Step three, the fibs from the high to the low that was created. Step four, wait for the retest right at the premium. And what happened? Push down lower, right? Boom. And then, like I said, that level is your TP. If it bounced once, you know it could bounce again. So you want to trim majority of your positions at that same lows there, right? Your risk is the high above it. Very nice setup there. If you got in at the premium, 28.84, that gave you like 60 points, right? Very, very nice setup. Right now, we just opened up here. So let's go look. Did we have a structure shift? We broke above the internal high. We broke the low now, and we need to break the low we couldn't break. But that's how you trade that setup from today. And same thing here, right? Like I said, let's go back a little bit. Like I said, your fibs, right? 50% here. We can even go on the 5 minutes to make it, right? Press play, boom, tapped, reject, right? Held daily open as support. You wanted to break the daily open. Old support turns to new resistance. So let's see if that was the case here. Let's actually make it a little faster. All right, break, daily open, weekly open. Should be a resistance now. Old support turns to new resistance. Boom, and your TP is the gap fill and the next lows here. And as you can see, it's holding it as well. All right, as you can see, here broke,